Daredevil is back, and while Season 1 of Born Again had a lot of production issues, it was still an enjoyable season that prepped us for what's to come, with the final episodes of the season being made by the new creatives on the show, which wanted to make the show more similar to its original Netflix counterpart. This excited me so much for Season 2, where it's evident they're trying to make the show a continuation of the Netflix show instead of being loosely related like was originally planned. We see this with pretty much all the new characters being sidelined in the final run of the show, as Matt instead finds help from none other than Frank Castle's Punisher and Karen Page, and faces off against a lineup of familiar villains from Season 3 of Kingpin, Vanessa, and Bullseye. This excited me so much for Born Again Season 2, but even while these creatives want to go back to the way things were before, they did keep one MCU-ism of Kingpin especially. That being his new power level. Now, where did this new power level come from we didn't see on the Netflix show? Welcome to Big Flick Energy, and let's get right into it. For starters, Kingpin is pretty tame throughout the entirety of the show from a beating people up perspective, outside of beating up Vanessa's boyfriend, but he was evidently holding back there since Kingpin had promised her he wouldn't kill her lover. This tamed Wilson Fisk was the case until midway through the season finale, where we maybe get the most brutal kill we've gotten in the entire MCU run, including all the Netflix shows and including the X-Men rated R films like Deadpool and Logan. We see Kingpin crush the police commissioner's head and break his jaw in half. Now, I'm no expert on human biology, but I've watched enough UFC to know a regular person can't do what Kingpin did. That scene belongs in Invincible with the way it was done, not the MCU. But I am happy we got to see it because it shows me they're legit about making the show rated R. I mean, even ChatGPT agrees with me in saying it needs to have been done by somebody with extreme training or superhuman strength. So which is it then? You can argue it's extreme training, but ever since Kingpin has joined the MCU, his feats of strength have been unmatched. In Hawkeye, he ripped a door off a car and launched it like he's Hulk. He would hit Kate Bishop across the room like it was nothing, and he survived an explosion Kate set under him that would have killed any normal person. In Echo, he survived a bullet to the head, and now in Daredevil Born Again, he ripped somebody's jaw off their head. He was pretty strong in the Netflix series, but whatever special training he had back then could not get him to do any of those things. His strength level is definitely that of a super soldier in his current state, which begs the question, what happened between Daredevil Season 3's 2017 and Hawkeye's 2024 that made him pretty much a super soldier? What happened in those 7 years? Well, Vanessa helps answer part of that in Born Again, where she says the whole FBI corruption scandal, Agent Nadeem, all that. It's why my husband was acquitted. Apparently, with so much heat on the FBI, Kingpin was freed from his involvement in the case around 2021, and since he wasn't blipped in Thanos' snap, he was there to be released and start building back his empire to the point we see him at in 2024 in Hawkeye. That gives us a 3-year time period for Fisk to become a super soldier. And one show that came out in that time frame just so happens to focus on the super soldier serum, that being Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So in this show, Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes come across multiple individuals who have been using a new super soldier serum, like the Flag Smashers and US Agent John Walker. Where do they get this super soldier serum? From a city-state known as Madripoor, whose underworld was run by an individual known as the Power Broker, who we otherwise find out to later be known as Sharon Carter, who was not blipped, and based off what we know of her story, she fled to Madripoor after the events of Captain America Civil War, began doing research into Wilfred Nigel's super soldier serum, and recruited him to synthesize it once Thanos' snap was undone by Hulk snap. So between the time of 2023's Endgame and 2024's Hawkeye, Kingpin must have gotten his hands on the serum, which was the first super soldier serum ever traded in the underworld. Something Kingpin would definitely be able to get his hands on given he has international trade partners seen in Daredevil Season 1 with the Yakuza and the Chinese, and now in Born Again with the port Vanessa was selling art through as a form of money laundering, which I wouldn't be surprised if the serum came straight through that port. And obviously at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we find out that the serum's gone, but there is a small time gap between the events of Avengers Endgame when that finished, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where Kingpin could have gotten that serum any point between them. It makes sense why he's so overly strong once we see him in Hawkeye, and his means of getting the serum make a lot of sense given he would be the first person to jump on a super soldier serum traded in the black market if there was one. I'll also say, if the MCU wants to tie in the larger MCU to Daredevil Born Again, outside of Spider-Man, I actually think Sharon Carter's power broker is the perfect character given how Falcon and Winter Soldier ended with her having access to government secrets and prototype weapons. These prototype weapons could be a lot of fun to see be used by somebody like Bullseye or Punisher, and it could help be a tie-in to bring defenders like Luke Cage back in if they were to bring back the Judas bullets from Luke Cage's Season 1 as a prototype weapon. But that's just an idea for the future. But with that, that's how Kingpin became an absolute menace that can break car doors, launch people across the room, survive an explosion, survive a bullet to the head, and destroy somebody's jaw with his bare hands. He knows the power broker and got one of the few super soldier serums that were distributed, making him a threat stronger than what Daredevil has ever faced before. So, get ready for Season 2 of Born Again, because Kingpin is now the real comic accurate Kingpin. Well, he would be if he looked like this. But yeah, it's close enough. So, thank you for watching this video. Please let me know down in the comments if you agree that Kingpin's a super soldier, if you believe he got the serum from Sharon Carter after the events of Avengers Endgame, your thoughts on Daredevil Born Again, your excitement level for Season 2, and anything else you guys want to talk about. Thanks again for watching, and see you all next time on Big Flick Energy.